A new state report is shining a light on the water issues in one East Texas town. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality recently released its findings on the Trinidad water system. That's a small town in Henderson County, one that's been in the headlines after lawsuits and arrest made related to a water controversy. Tonight, KLTV7's J.D. Conti has more on the new deadline faced by the city to straighten things out.
A TCEQ report is telling us more about this water. Residents in Trinidad, a town of just 800 people, tell us they've been dealing with water issues for years. But in the past few months, this small town has been a big story. It all started when Jennifer Combs, an independent journalist, posted this on social media on April 6th. Combs said she'd gotten reports some people had been hospitalized because of the water. She was arrested by Trinidad police, who charged her with making a false report. A grand jury later no-billed her. Since then, the city has faced multiple lawsuits on First Amendment grounds. On Tuesday, DPS confirmed to KLTV that the Texas Rangers are investigating the city, but they could not share details. On April 15th, TCEQ began its first investigation after receiving citizen reports. TCEQ says it's received 14 complaints on Trinidad in the past 5 years. A report says the system had inadequate disinfection levels, specifically chlorine. That report led to a chlorine conversion, meaning the city would change the kind of disinfectant it used. Another investigation began after TCEQ says it received more complaints. A second report found multiple violations. TCEQ says it found unusually high color levels in some water samples. One sample had 20 color units. The EPA and TCEQ has a limit of 15. Investigators also found the city failed to, quote, conduct chloramine effectiveness sampling in distribution, in addition to routine daily disinfectant residual sampling. We've reached out to Aqua Services, the third-party company that manages the city's water lines, but have not received a response. TCEQ also wrote the city was lacking in maintenance at its water treatment plant. J.D. Conti, KLTV 7 News.
Now, we have reached out to the city about the state's findings, and we understand they have until August 3rd to submit a plan to the state.